Episode 2. This is the Watertower Gap. The most insane, death-defying, epic thing, in my opinion, that has ever been done on a skateboard. The photographer is Daniel Harold Sturt. The footage was filmed by Ty Evans, and the skateboarder is the legendary Jeremy Wray. Jeremy Wray can easily be described as an exemplary street skateboarder, performing tricks with, frankly, almost inarguably perfect form and unrivaled power. He is known for skating gaps that most skaters wouldn't even consider as a possibility, such is the case here. He's also recognized for having the best frontside 360 ollies known to humankind. It's been proven by science. Watertower is estimated to be 40 or even 50 feet tall and resides in Rowland Heights, California. This trick got the cover of Thrasher magazine, as you've seen, in November 1997. So this ollie happened somewhere prior to that, but I can't confirm a date. If you know, please drop it in the comments. Now, once you've shrugged off the fear of death by gravity, the measurement that matters the most. Watertower is estimated to be 16 feet wide, but in my research, I found more people convinced that it was 18 feet from tower to tower. Bear in mind at this point that the Guinness Book of World Records does not have a longest flat ground ollie on record, but the best attempts at this unofficial record are around the 16-foot mark. Jeremy may have set a record over a deadly drop over 20 years ago. This trick even sparked a meme in the early days of the meme in the long-forgotten motivational poster format. Okay, now you have all the information, let's start up the breakdown. For me, this trick starts where all great things start. The push. This push is everything. Not to go all Tumblr girl on you there, but this push is everything. I'm sorry this isn't in 4K. I personally don't give a shit, but remember this was filmed in the 90s, so quality was limited. So obviously the majority of an effective push is in the leg that's propelling you. But here there's a hidden critical detail to maximize speed. Look at his supporting foot, the foot planted on the board. See how when he pushes, his heel lifts up and his toes push the board that tiny bit further forward during the motion? I think about it all the time. This is how you maximize speed and get the fullest potential out of your pushes. And it's how Jeremy Wray cheated death here. Also playing a massive role in that whole not dying thing was his incredible ability to ollie very high and very far. To the terrifying contrary, here's some knee-weakeningly scary context about this clip regarding this spot trying its darndest to encourage his deadness. The top of the runway was littered with rocks. He swept them off to the best of his knowledge, but on one attempt, right as he was coming up to pop his tail, he hit a stray rock. Not enough to stop his board, but so that it continued to just bounce along in front of his wheels. The terror, dude. Can you imagine? Jeremy acknowledges at this point it's literally do or die, or rather try or die. Thankfully, he didn't get chalked, as we call it. That's when a rock stops your wheel dead and you're bored with it. Avoided the worst case scenario, and again, thankfully, didn't get pitched into this concrete canyon to near certain death. But anyway, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. He rolls the final length of the takeoff really square on his board and then pops like his life depends on it. I can explain to you how to ollie, and I've ollied waist high things in my life, but I'd be kidding myself completely to try and tell you just how Jeremy Wray has such good ollies. Just watch this clip and memorize the movements. I'm thinking about doing it. Having a good ollie is key to having a good time skateboarding, if you ask me. Definitely as far as street skateboarding is concerned. This ollie also stands as a testament to the notion that you don't have to put your foot further back to ollie higher. It's all in the spring and the front foot dragging it up and leveling it out. Some further crazy context to this clip. The one he landed was his 5th try. That alone is crazy enough, but there's more. He stuck the 3rd attempt, he stuck the 4th, but on that 4th, the second last try, his board fell off the tower and chipped the tail badly, deteriorating and affecting the skateability of the board. He had boned it out in front of him to clear the gap, landed in the back seat, went into manual, and shot out. His board dropped off the edge and chipped the tail heavy on the graphic side of the board, the side that completely affects liftoff. He didn't want to climb down and burn the energy he needed to clear this truly deadly gap, so the guys nearby tried their best to throw it up to him, with Jeremy laying on his stomach reaching down to make the most of distance. Finally they succeeded, Jeremy catching it with a literal pinch, then having to follow through with the other hand to secure it, and the next try was ready to go. So Jeremy flaps his wings and holds on for the ride. Any of those skaters tweaking their ollie out all pretty, that's a sign that they're not fearful of consequence. Now that can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. I'm definitely not telling you to go leap between buildings, but there's a purity of athleticism that Jeremy exhibits in this clip that I couldn't let go unnoticed. Take a moment to notice how if a lesser skater had popped this ollie, they could have easily hung up with their back truck on the edge and gotten pitched and robbed. This guy's ability to long jump is like no other, and it's all too clear in those final 10 frames or so before his wheels touch down. The confirmation of this is in his landing, with overly bent knees, which is why his hands shoot up to compress his body down to the board and give him a quick boost of stability right when he needs it. Also, the tweak forward to maximize distance will challenge anyone to bring it back under their center of gravity. Definitely in this instance. I'll leave you with this mind melter. Jeremy says, and it makes some sense, anything you can ollie, you can kickflip. And that following the success of this legendary ollie, he said he always wanted to kickflip this gap. I personally hear that and I'm at a loss for words. So, thanks for your time. Watertower gap, Jeremy Wray. Immortal. Peace. I'm Reese.